Get ready to be swept away on a fun-filled adventure with the incredibly gorgeous and talented actress from Bengal, Anusha Viswanathan. Watch as she passionately shares her love for food, travel, movies, music, and animals. Join us on this episode of Twisted Truths as we explore her captivating world of interests and experiences.
So, एक बात बताइए, you're an actor now. So, what was your first acting stint? कहाँ से शुरू किया था?
Well, for me, it was theatre actually.
अच्छा.
I used to be a part of this theatre group called Mad About Drama.
Yes, I'm aware.
And that I joined when I was in school. I was in class 11, and I actually joined as an intern. I just wanted to be a part of that. I loved their plays and you know what they were trying to do with young people doing theatre
Achha.
and inspiring more people. So I just wanted to see how they work, and I joined as an intern. And then after my internship got over, they had this whole recruitment call, and I gave an audition and just I didn't even know I wanted to act at that point. Of course, I've done school plays and everything, but nothing serious. And then I got selected, and just a month after that, we had our first play.
Achha.
And then from there, people recommended me to this film. My co-actor was in Presidency, one of the Orindam Shil, Orindam Uncle's ADs, was also from Presidency, and he kind of recommended me because they were looking for young people for this film called Durga Shahai. So that's how I went, and then he liked my screen presence on set, so then he asked me to do Dhananjay, and that's how it started.
So it was more of luck by chance and not a pre-planned
No,
decision.
it was definitely not pre-planned, but as I have, as I started acting, I realized that I really, really enjoy it. And then it kind of became something that I can't live without.
So who has been your favorite actor so far, or that one actor from this
I have
entire
phases,
India?
to be honest. I have phases like I was obsessed with Andrew Scott after watching Fleabag.
Achha.
And then I was, and of course Phoebe Waller-Bridge in general, like not just her acting but her writing and her comedy and all of it. It's absolutely inspiring. So there's been that, but then also like Shahrukh Khan has always been an inspiration, and it's not just in terms of acting, but it's also in terms of the way he really like makes the audience fall in love with him.
Right.
And there is such a huge like there's so much love that goes out to him, and that comes from his charisma, I would say.
So are you a Shahrukh fan?
I am a Shahrukh
fan. Die-hard Shahrukh fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Shahrukh fan.
So name that one Shahrukh film which you think you would have wanted to be paired opposite him.
Oh God.
You can also name 3 if you want to.
This is insane. Kal Ho Na Ho.
So you would have played Preeti Zinta's role,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And I was also obsessed with Preeti Zinta when as a kid. I've watched Koi Mil Gaya so many times. It's insane. So yeah, that Veer Zara, again a Preeti Zinta film.
Yes.
Then of course for me Kuch Kuch Hota is very special to me because I've like even more than Dilwale Dulhaniya, for me Kuch Kuch Hota is like very, very I loved it.
So if I have to ask you your dream co-star, will it be Shahrukh Khan or will it be someone else?
Of course, it's a dream to have Shahrukh Khan as a co-star. I mean, that would be insane. Like, even like a film, maybe not like something like even Dear Zindagi.
Achha.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
necessarily a romantic, blatantly romantic, but I would love to work with him. Just to be in his aura would be like a huge thing.
Have you met him in real life?
No, I haven't.
So what would be the first thing that you do when you meet him?
I don't know what I would do. I probably would get a bit stunned, starstruck, and but I think just him him interacting with me would be like a huge thing for me, and I would just try to smile and not mess up what I'm saying. Yeah.
I have my next question would have been, whom would you want to romance on screen? But I think with your answers, I already know of the answer. Will it be Shahrukh? Okay, let's leave aside Shahrukh Khan.
Aditya Roy Kapoor. I would love to romance him on screen.
Has it ever happened in your film career that you've been paired opposite someone, and there has been that awkward moment between your co-star that it might have been an intimate scene?
Oh yeah.
Where you've flowed with the emotions? है कभी ऐसा हुआ है, कभी ऐसा होता है?
मतलब flowed with the emotion नहीं होता है, पर what
कि director ने cut बोल दिया, but
हाँ, switch off, immediate switch off.
अच्छा,
like
तो,
that's something I can do very well. Switch on, switch off between action and cut. That's
अच्छा,
something that I genuinely, I mean, and like there's like laughing and joking in the
हाँ.
beginning, or like they're like, you know, awkward moments. Like if you have like
ऐसा कोई awkward moment बताओ ना यार, मतलब जो हुआ होगा, मतलब I'm sure हुआ है.
हाँ. No, so there's this thing, right? So
हाँ.
before kissing scenes, they usually give you mints.
अच्छा, okay.
Like, so it's just a thing that you know, it's like everywhere they do that. So I had this film that I did, Mithe Premier Gan,
अच्छा,
and so I had a certain making out scene with Anirbanda.
okay.
And and the thing is that it was very many everyone was very professional, and we rehearsed the blocking before, and then we just had to take 2 takes and we were done. And it was on steady cam, so it's not like from different angles you have to do it.
Right.
But like right before that, you know, it's like okay, they give us like, you know, mints and everything, and it's like just awkward, like, you know, it's like, you know, time to go, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah.
So but there has never been an awkward moment while doing.
No, not while. Because then you're playing a character. But at least for me, I mean, it's not like I have a lot of experience doing intimate scenes.
Right.
So maybe sometime, depending, but then
depending on who your co-star is, maybe if it's ARK or SRK.
Yeah, maybe if it's somebody you actually know very well, then there can be moments where you start laughing. That can happen.
Right. Yeah. So we are from the Bengali film industry. You have been majorly part of the Bengali film industry. I think your father has also been part of the Bengali film industry.
He's a film director. He's a 3-time National Award film director.
I am aware of that.
Yes, so
he also happened to be my teacher.
Really?
And I'll tell you a very funny incident.
Yeah.
I don't know if he remembers this or not. Sorry, sir, if you see this, but so he was a guest lecturer at XIC, Xavier Institute of Communication. So he was teaching us film studies. I think that was, no, he was teaching us direction. Yeah, yes. So so I was never very attentive in class. I was always fidgety with my phone and all of that. So, and I had fallen under his eyes. Like he used to keep a watch for me whenever I am in class. So one day what happened, I was again with my phone and everything. So direction का class चल रहा था, and then और उनका ऐसा हिस्ट्री था, उन्होंने कभी किसी को क्लास से बाहर नहीं निकाला.
नहीं, हाँ.
और
he loves people listening to him, so I don't.
But उन्होंने मुझे क्लास से बाहर निकाला. उन्होंने मुझे बोला उठो, बोला क्या कर रहे हो? मैंने बोला कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but he's like, I'm sure तुम फोन कर रहे हो, like I'm sure you're doing your phone. And then उन्होंने मेरे को फिर क्लास से बाहर निकाल दिया. मैं बहुत sad हुआ.
Ouch.
But
I'm sure he doesn't remember this.
I once met him at a party.
Yeah.
And I told him, sir, do you remember you threw me out of the class? And he had no clue about it.
Of course,
it's years back. So I have that. It is at that point of time you feel a bit ashamed because of your classmates. But later, those are the memories which you actually remember, and it brings a smile on your face. Yeah, ऐसा हुआ था.
It's some.
So this nepotism debate, this debate has been going on.
Yeah.
Especially during the social media era, it has picked up speed over the last 7-8 years. Do you think Bengali film industry is also prey to nepotism, or is it not that much when compared to the Hindi film industry?
See, I have.
What is your take on it?
Yeah, my take on it is that, you know, say if your father was a doctor, or your father was a lawyer,
right?
You are born and brought up in an environment where you know more about law. Correct. And you know more about like being a doctor. You have access to more medical books. You have mentors who are your father's friends. Correct. Or your mother's friends.
Absolutely.
And they, you know, groom you. It's the same for this industry as well. If you have grown up in an industry where you see your parents working in this kind of a situation, you are better equipped, I think, to in some ways deal with it. Like, because you know that you have to struggle. Like my parents, for instance, I have not had so a lot of my friends, they've grown up doing theater or film from the beginning. I was not, like I said, I wasn't that, right? So my mother made sure I wasn't, people do not know my nickname.
Okay.
You know, like in the industry. They don't call me by my nickname because they don't know. I grew up very separate from the industry. They know me when I was very little, when there would be shoots at my place. But after that, I've they always said that you have to do your make sure you get your education properly. You have to do whatever you want to do outside of this film industry. And they didn't say it in an overt way, but they made sure that I know that when I do, or if I do, since I'm saying when, choose to be a part of this industry, it would be entirely my choice. And it would be entirely my decision. And they in fact weren't very supportive in the beginning, maybe because they know how difficult it is to survive in this industry. It's not easy. You have to be stubborn, you have to be passionate, and you have to go through all kinds of rejections and humiliations. And you have to be strong if you want to do this. So initially they're like, no, we will not even let you do rehearsals beyond a point. I had to fight to be a part of this industry every step of the way, even in my family. And I realize now it is because they wanted to see whether I really wanted to do it, or if I was just getting, swayed by all the glamour. Right. But there's no glamour, believe me, in this world. It's all on the outside. It's all grit and lots of work and lots of, emotional, mental stress. So yeah.
So when it comes to Bengali film industry, I'm specifically talking to you about Bengali film industry because you're a part of it. Yeah. What about the pay situation? Because there's a pay gap compared to the male actors and the female actors.
I am sure there is, but the thing is, like, the pay situation in general isn't the greatest, I would say. But there is also it's not like it's Bombay, it's not that big of an industry.
Obviously, yeah.
We unfortunately, in the recent years, our box office has not been the greatest, and with the pandemic that really took a hit. And OTT, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, OTT being a part of it, like the audience somehow gets divided. People watch stuff on their phones, on TVs, on smart TVs, and I don't know, maybe the culture of going and watching films in the theater has kind of dwindled a little bit, I would say. And also with the single screens closing down,
yes,
and
correct.
There's so much of the suburban audience which does not get, and we don't really make those big commercial films here anymore.
Yeah.
And it's all related, I guess, because there's no audience, there's no money, it's all like investors, everything. So I think it's like, it's a decision we all have to take, that okay, we have to support this industry for it to grow.
Yeah,
that's
because
what I feel.
because people often think that the industry is only run by the actors, but there are so many people associated with it. There are technicians, their family,
absolutely,
the background people who are there, the directors, the editors.
Yeah, no film can work without technicians.
It's a whole industry. So people online often they tend to bully the actors for
See, we are the face. At the end of the day, we have to take that backlash, because people behind the scenes, I'm not saying the directors also, to an extent, they're also the face. They have to take responsibility. Correct. It's their vision. The directors, the producers, but then, like, if you are the face of a film, you will have to take the backlash, and that's something that you have to accept. I mean, it's not, you can't really change it. You can be like more, I think people can be less mean about it.
Yeah. But again, at the same time, like, the counter argument is the love also the actor receives is second to none.
This world is very full of highs and lows. So like, it's all extremes.
Right. So what do you think, like, as you said, so the pay situation in general is not that great.
Yeah, but I don't know about the pay gap. There probably is, because if it's there in every part of the world, it's not like it's not there.
Right.
But I feel
like a lot of Hindi film actors openly spoke about it. So
the thing is, I don't know. It's not like I know the remuneration of my co-actor.
Right.
That's something that we don't generally discuss. But I mean, maybe on the younger, I mean, like my generation, not even slightly older, like maybe that is not that vast. It depends on the amount of work you've done.
Right.
But maybe after a point, once somebody becomes really established, maybe that becomes a thing, like, in terms of like heroes and heroines,
right,
so to speak.
So with this, see, we, in today's time and age, social media plays a huge role. So people often go back in the past and dig old tweets and old images of actors, and then they make it go viral presently, and that has a direct effect on the current situation of that person. So what is your opinion? Is this correct, or you should move on, or you should let that person be? So
as time goes, I feel like me at 16 and me at now is like my way of thinking has changed. The world around me has changed. I have become more woke. I have become more educated about the things which are not politically correct, about how to present myself in front of people. And maybe I wasn't that educated, or I was a little more cavalier about things that I have said in the past. So bringing that up now, I feel it's it it's not a it's like you change according to time. So I think the audience should also accept that, maybe some things were said or some things were done which at that point seemed all right in the current situation that existed at that point, but it is not cool anymore, and maybe that is why it's not happening anymore. So it's just that.
So coming back to your film, so has there ever been a role which you have turned down because you didn't quite agree with the character's morale or character's principles? Has it ever been a situation like this?
No, so the thing is, it depends on the way the director wants to portray it. I don't have a problem with playing a morally gray character or a downright villainous character. I would love playing that. I would enjoy playing that, and I would figure out a psychology that works for the character. But in terms of presenting it, like, I wouldn't necessarily want to be a part of a film where say sexism is glorified. Example, I'm just giving an example.
Right.
Like, sexism is shown as sexism, and maybe this character is charismatic. That is different. And that can be a thing that, sometimes people who are morally gray characters can be charismatic. Like, even I have watched so many things. I have read so many fantasy novels where, like, there's a murderer but then has a change. I like characters with a trajectory who wish to improve. And even if they don't improve, it is not like they are glorified. Like, say Joker, for instance. Joker, I read this somewhere and it makes all the difference to me. The backstory of a hero and a villain is the same. It all comes from pain. And it's about how you respond to pain that makes you a hero, whether you want to lash out at other people and increase the cycle of the pain, or you want to break the cycle. So I feel like if the director is talking about how this is what the world could be if somebody chose wrong, and that is something they're talking about, then I'm fine with that. But if they're saying that this is how it should be, people should choose wrong because the world sucks, then maybe I might have a problem with that.
So अगर suppose आपको कभी कबीर सिंह जैसा film मिला, आप करोगे?
I would have a conversation with the director that, I don't have a problem with the film, but show it in a way that is not glorified.
So have you seen Kabir Singh?
I haven't seen Kabir Singh because I read about the debate and I didn't want to watch it.
Have you seen the
no, I also haven't
South
seen
version?
No, I haven't seen Arjun Reddy either.
Achha, okay.
I'm very picky about the films. About the films that, I know I won't like, what is the point watching it?
So I'm assuming, given the circumstances, I think mostly you'd say no to it, unless the director changes the way it is.
It's not that simple. Like, it really depends on how it is sold to me.
Achha, right.
Like, the pitch has to be important, like, and whether I can have a conversation with the director. Now, like, see, I'm not gonna pretend that, if I get a huge film and there is some morally off-putting stuff, I won't do it at this point in my life.
Be honest again.
Yeah, I'm being honest here. Yeah, but then if I were in a position, like, for instance, people like Priyanka Chopra, they might have done Fair and Lovely ads at one point in their life, but they're not doing it anymore because now they have the power to say no. So I might not have the power to say no right now, but if I did have the power some point in the future, maybe I would choose better.
I think that's being very honest, Anusha. I think it's, I think, all about being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Do you like the set life?
I do. In fact, I love it. I love. I get very involved actually. I converse with my technicians, and like, I like keeping the mood up, and I really like having a positive energy on set. So sometimes, if that is not the case, it might be a little draining. But if that is the case, then I have a gala time. Like, even if it's like a 14-hour shoot where I'm constantly shooting, if the people around me are nice, I have a great time.
So what is the one best thing which has happened to you on set? What is the one worst thing? Like, the best memory and the worst memory, if you have one.
Oh, yeah. So I was shooting this music video at one point. This is the worst. And this drone operator. Clearly something wrong with him. Anyway, so he was operating a drone, and I was wearing a dress, and I was walking down a gravelly road, and the drone came and hit my head.
Oh.
And then I sat down, and a chunk of my hair flew out, and my knee started bleeding. So that was very terrifying. For real. So that was really unsafe, and it still makes me a little wary about drones. But it's okay. It is what it is.
And a best memory?
I have many great memories. Like when I was shooting Oporajito, and I was shooting like these iconic scenes which were shot in Pother Pachali and recreated them. I felt like I got chills doing it. Like I can't believe I'm in the same position. So that's a really wonderful memory. Other than that, I remember when we shot Generation Army, like all of us, we became really good friends. Like Rito, Shoroshini, Pushan, Moinak, all of us. Like he was a great team leader. He didn't make us feel like we were kids. He would also be kids with us, and we had a great time. We had a lot of fun on set.
So, and what is your take on the Me Too movement and how it has impacted our film industry? Or has it impacted it?
I don't know if it has impacted our film industry, to be very honest. But I feel like just the fact that people have a voice to be able to say something might, if I am hoping against hope, might make certain predators think twice before they make a move on somebody.
Right. So and how do you think, like as you said, predators, how do you think our industry people, like the ones who are at power, so say the producers and the directors, how can they actively play a role to negate this as much as possible?
Just be good people.
But I think being good people is the hardest job, don't you think so?
No, it's the most basic instinct one person should have, to be nice and kind and good. Why is it hard? That's the whole problem. We are thinking that being a good person is hard. It's the easiest thing.
So, in this world of social media, our most of our conversation has revolved around social media and its impact. So, how much of an impact has social media left in your career? In films, outside films, because now, as we know, like social media involves a lot of other things. There are brand collaborations, and there's so many fans who can voice your opinions, and you can have your own fan clubs. So,
I feel like social media is a double-edged sword in a way, because I feel like because you're getting so much of your favorite. I mean, not that I'm saying like now, like say earlier, back in the day when they didn't have access to people, they would be more inclined to go into theaters to watch them. But now, since they have access on social media, I feel like while they feel closer, and which is a great thing, and they can voice their opinions, we can also understand what the audience wants from us, and accordingly we can give that back to them. But I feel like that sense of mystery, that stardom is gone.
Have you had any crazy fan encounters in your DMs? Any creepy or weird DM that you have received? I'm sure you've received.
How many? Many.
One very creepy or one very weird DM.
This is very weird. I wouldn't say it's creepy, but like this person messaged me that if you were my girlfriend, I would. I had posted a picture, and he responded to that and said that if you were my girlfriend, I would just take your phone away. And I think what that means is that people like him who are sending me DMs, he wouldn't want that happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, do you think this is attractive? That you're telling somebody you're so attracted, I would take your phone away, and that is my way of expressing love. I have a problem with the way that expressing love comes. Like, it's okay. I get lots of sweet and wonderful messages as well. But I got weirded out because I thought that, is this how people think?
The mindset.
That is how you show affection, by taking shit away from your,
which is basically taking your freedom away.
Yeah. That is insane.
So talking about fans, so do you think your fans ever have a chance of dating you or seeing you or taking you out? Would you be open to this, or would you be?
So it's not like that. Like for me, I believe in very organic interactions. So if I met somebody and I had an organic interaction with somebody, and then we both ended up liking each other, whether they were a fan or not does not make a difference to me. But it wouldn't be like, I am a fan, I want to take you out, can I go out with you? That I wouldn't ask. I mean, even if it's like a friend of a friend and they asked me out, I wouldn't go because it's not organic. Like, which is why the concept of dating apps is not something very appealing to me, because I'm a very cinematic person and I think it's a very boring story.
Right. So it all depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on the person. It depends on how I've met the person, what interaction took place.
So you're not restricted when it comes to कि industry का ही होना चाहिए, celebrity होना चाहिए.
नहीं, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं.
Guys, ये सुन लो, ये बहुत important piece of information दे दिया कि everybody is open. If you're a good guy, I think Anusha, are you single?
I am single.
Guys, so this is very important piece of information. If you're a good guy and if you're chivalrous enough and if
no, it is not like that. I'm not saying that if you're this or if you're that. I'm saying that
it has to be organic.
If at some in some way we end up meeting at a place and we have a good interaction and there are sparks and chemistry, then why not?
Great. So you have not closed doors for a particular profession.
Nahin.
Okay, good. I think a lot of people will be very happy to hear this message. Yes, yeah. So what is your favorite pastime? What do you do apart from, say, acting? I do know you watch a lot of movies.
I do watch a lot of movies.
You did speak once before.
But
apart from that,
I read fantasy novels. I'm a huge fantasy nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of novels do you read?
You know, like so oh god. So basically, no, I'll go from like the more erudite to the less erudite. So I have like, I love Neil Gaiman. Like, Neil Gaiman is one of my most favorite fantasy writers of all time, and I
मुझे एकदम पता नहीं है वो कौन है.
So like, Neil Gaiman is the guy who wrote American Gods. There is a series now, not just American Gods, also what is that, Sandman. He that was a graphic novel, but he wrote that as well. And there are lots of other books which he has written, which are really, really amazing. It deals with a lot of mythology and like interesting world building and stuff like that. And other than that, I like Sarah J. Maas, who's like a proper fantasy kind of writer with the different worlds, with fairies and magic and all kinds of of course Harry Potter is a classic, but like, I'm saying even more adult fiction and stuff like that. So like Brandon Sanderson and like a lot of like Game of Thrones series, like just watching, reading, all of that. And I'm somebody who likes reading first.
So somebody also from our team has given us inside information that you are a very good singer.
I am not a very good singer.
And you love singing.
I do love singing.
You want to sing
I love
something
music.
for us?
No, please don't do this to me.
No, somebody told us कि अनुषा को जब गाने बोलती है वो रेडी हो जाती है गाने
ये कौन बोला?
ये है, किसी ने तो बोला था. अभी नाम नहीं ले सकता, but somebody did tell us. So
I'm going to find out and I'm going to.
So is it how right is this piece of information?
No, I love singing. I definitely do love singing, but it's not like I'm a trained singer. I've never been trained. I just, usually at night I have these moods where I take up my ukulele and play and just randomly sing, and I don't expect any appreciation for it. It's just me doing it for myself.
Right.
So that's what usually happens.
So tell me something. ऐसा कुछ बताओ जो तुम हो या जो तुम्हारा कैरेक्टरिस्टिक या कोई फीचर है, लेकिन दुनिया को नहीं लगता कि वो है. Like from the public persona, they would never think that Anusha likes this or does that, but you actually like that or actually do that.
I'm very Bollywood.
Okay.
Like
ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता था.
हाँ, like I once had this conversation with a friend. Like we were coming back from Bolpur and we were listening to all these Bollywood songs and like classic Bollywood songs, like, and at one point I was like, people don't know this about me, but I said it in Bengali that amar aanchol oranor side ta keu jane na, like so that's there. I can be very Bollywood and cinematic about those things. Like,
do you consider anybody industry as your competition or someone whom you look up to?
I believe that everyone should be competitive in their own way, like try to be a better version of yourself, like, because that is, you are your only competition. Because I don't want to be I don't want to be a version of myself that I've already left behind.
Right.
I want to keep improving. I keep updating myself and like unlocking new levels. So that is what it should be, and I want more. Like, I believe this, and this is something I want to say actually. There is this misconception, I would say, or whatever. Most people have this idea that female actors, they don't want other female actors to grow, but I I genuinely believe that I want to support more female actors, because that's how the market will increase. There will be more female roles created if there are more people who are just that deserving to get those roles. So I always want more female, not just female, I say female, male, just creation of good actors will create more roles, more directors, like, you know, people who want to do new things. I just want our market to expand. I want more stories to be told, and if good stories are told, people will watch them.
Yeah, because there are so many talented people.
Yeah, there's no point bringing somebody else down. If you're bringing somebody else down, maybe you got that role, but somebody else will bring you down and take the. What is the future in that? This is a very short-term goal. Think about the long term.
Right. And what is your take on the actors who use social media platforms to express their political opinions?
Do you do you whatever you want.
मतलब जो दिल में है वो करना चाहिए ना?
नहीं, मतलब it's not that. I feel like, you know, you should be responsible with your voice, because you have been given this voice and it's a privilege to have it.
Right.
And I would personally suggest do it for the good of people,
right?
So that at the end of the day, it benefits the people that this country, you know, all the people of this country, like different. Don't be very, you know, just think about one section of people. I would say think about all sections of people, and if you want to express, if you feel something strongly, you should definitely express it. Everyone has the freedom of speech to do that, but I feel that it should be careful enough, since you are a public figure, it should be careful enough that you do not say it in a way that can harm other people.
Right.
And I also don't think people should attack people for voicing their opinions either.
So, as they say that with great power comes great responsibility. So,
absolutely.
Since you are in a position of power, I'm sure you will also evolve as you go along, and there'll be more power on
Hopefully.
you. Yeah, I'm sure. Fingers crossed.
But I hope I never abuse it. I won't. But
what is that one thing which you do? What is the one change that you would want to bring about? Or not say change, because change is a huge word, or something nice that you would do with the power that you have.
So my mother and I, but mostly my mother, she has kind of dedicated her life outside of all the different work. She teaches, she does anchoring, she used to read the news, she does so much, she sings. Out of everything and all the work she does, she spends a chunk of every day feeding the dogs and cats of the lake area, Goriahat, like 3 hours every day, while, you know, doing between classes. She'll go teach a class, she'll come and she'll go feed dogs and cats and, you know, rescue them. I really want to help her out into making this bigger, because, like, you know, because it's not possible. We don't have an NGO, it's all our funding that goes. So if I get the power, I would want to create an NGO, or not just an NGO, maybe just have enough power and money to, like, fund everything and feed as many dogs and cats as possible, employ people to do so, and
create a better world for animals.
Yeah, because
I think they really need us.
Yeah, they really need us. And during the pandemic, all the food shops closed, and that's when my mother got crazy. Like, they don't have anything to eat, they have no water, and like during Amphan, there was no shelter as well. It was insane. So yeah.
So
and also more, like, you know, the medicine veterinary system and like medicine for dogs and cats and all animals is not the greatest here. Correct. And that really
totally
needs to
agree.
improve.
Yes.
It's like, especially shelters which are free. Like, I would want to, like, give them funding so that they can better their system, correct, their equipment, their employment, like everything.
Even the fine that is there when you abuse an animal is as low as 50 rupees.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, these things must change.
I'm not a very violent person, but when I see things like this, I could become very violent in my head. At least,
and you should
I'm very
be,
violent.
And we all should be, like, because they are voiceless and we have to stand beside them.
I would just, they deserve the worst kind of punishment.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I am completely with you on that. So फिल्मों की बात हो गई, तुम्हारे हॉबीज के बात हो गया. What is let's talk about relationships. Okay. अब इसका दो मतलब हो सकता है. Either you had a great relationship or a very bad relationship.
I'm in neither.
You're in neither. Okay. Yeah. So what do you generally look for in your partner?
I look for a good sense of humor. Somebody who can make me laugh, who also has who also laughs, doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Right.
Somebody who is, everyone has a little bit of narcissism in them, which is fine, as long as it doesn't become like a huge problem. Like
Right.
it doesn't become like it's just about them and not about other people. I'm not even saying me. Like I like people. I want people who are kind, who need to love animals. That is a huge thing.
That's a must.
That's a must for me, because if you are going to be with me, you are going to have to deal with animals.
Right.
So it's not like I hate people who don't like animals. They can have their reasons, but if you're going to be close with me, you'll have to deal with my rescued dogs and cats in my house, and you'll have to do that. So so that's one. Kindness and sense of humor and a nice smile. Like if I had to go superficial, one thing that I really like in men would be a nice smile.
Right. And do you believe in the institution of marriage?
I do believe in it as something that I mean, as a kid, I definitely wanted to get married. Now it doesn't seem like something that is a must. It could happen. It also couldn't happen. I would like kids someday, maybe in my life, and I mean,
your own biological kids, or
I mean, depends at that point in my life what I'm going through. So yeah, like just I like the idea of. I mean, it's also scary, you know, to take care of. You know, and bring up, you know, raise young kids is scary, but like definitely be parents to pets. That's gonna happen. Okay. So if not,
they're your children anyway.
They are my children, and they're my sisters and brothers and babies. So that's gonna happen. But like I don't know, maybe marriage is like something. It's about whether it suits you, whether you get a partner who you can trust enough to actually legally sign a document, which cements that. But I also don't think that a signed document is required for two people to share their love.
And what is your take on live-in relationships?
I mean, if it works for you, great. I mean, I don't know. I have never been in a live-in relationship.
Right.
I don't know how it, how it would be for me. So maybe when I do, I'll have an opinion.
Great. So to end this, we have about 10 words, okay, and
oh, it's a rapid fire situation.
Kind of, yes. Okay. So you'll have to, the first thing that comes from your mind when you hear this word, without taking time, obviously, वो तुम्हें बोल देना है, without thinking twice, एकदम सोचना मत. Okay. So अगर तुम लेट करोगी तो हमारी टीम तुमसे गाना गवाएगा, तो इसीलिए जल्दी करना है, ठीक है? So are we ready?
Ready.
Okay. Films.
Love.
Crime.
Hate.
Fashion.
Love.
Work. You cannot say love.
Life.
Beauty.
In the eyes of the other person.
Beholder.
Yeah.
Politics.
Everyone has politics.
Diet.
Depends. I mean, I'm not really into a diet.
Okay. Dream.
I dream. I have very vivid dreams every night, so it's a huge part of my personality.
Future.
Go with the flow.
Love.
It's a very important thing for me. Like I think it's too important for me to just fall in love with somebody. So when I do, it's gonna be big.
Super. Thank you so much, Anusha. Can we please have the gift for her?
Oh, gifts.
Yes.
Love that.
We all love gifts.
Yeah, we do. I also love giving gifts.
Thank you. Is this the Seedha side? This is the Seedha side? This is the Seedha side. Okay.
Thank you, Shah.
This is for you.
Oh,
thank you so much, Anusha.
Pretty.
Thank you so much for being part of
Thank you so much for calling me.
Always take care and have a great life.
Yeah. And all the best. I hope this, becomes a huge thing.
Yeah, and I keep on forgetting, I'm very sorry, but this gift is designed and gifted by Utsav Creations, who are based in Loudon Street, Kolkata, India. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Oh, one small thing. Sorry, guys. Maaf kar dena, main bhool jata hu. Any message from...
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep this and we can give her later. Don't take it home, Isha. That's for her. Any message for us? You sure you don't want to sing anything for us?
Yes. Maybe some other time.
Oh, some other time. Would you read it out to the camera,
okay.
please?
I wish all the best to DNG and Twisted Truths. Hope this makes a difference to the world, no matter how small. Love, Anusha.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, can you please have a round of applause for Anusha? Great. You had fun?
Yeah, I had fun, but I don't know. Maybe I was a little too honest.
Yeah, but I think that was good.